Hey, my Liptons. I know this is super duper like around the corner, just especially everything lately that I've been talking about on my channel. But this is actually my first time that I'm going to do a roast video on Kit Harington. And it's not just him, it kind of goes to, because I feel like with these entertainers, with these actors, with these actresses, whoever, the singers, whatever, artists, it's like they lack some form of like self-awareness, the kind of, and when it comes to like their audiences and their fans. And I do remember discussing this on my channel, like I think it must have been like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, with Sophie Turner. And and I'm going to show you his quote that I think he did an interview with the New York Times. I'm not going to read that whole article. I don't got time for that. If y'all want to go look up that article, y'all guys can. Maybe there's full context when it comes to that quote. But right now we're gonna read the context. We're gonna read the quote for what it is at this moment, okay? Because it's getting annoying now. But honestly, it's been annoying. And I dragged Sophie Turner for this. And I'm gonna drag him too. So he said here, mind you, I'm just minding my business. I'm scrolling on Twitter. I'm just trying to see what Alandria is wearing at the Golden Globes. She looks absolutely amazing. And here comes Kit Harington's annoying ass with a fucking quote. And he did a full article. It's not just about, obviously it's about his Game of Thrones journey and what happened after that. But he says here that he was genuinely angered by the viral 2019 petition for Game of Thrones Season 8 to be remade. That genuinely angered me. Like, how dare you? Sorry, that's just how I feel. I think it was a level of idiocy that can only come through social media. No, bitch. You're the idiot. You're the idiot, okay? Because like I'm tired, and Sophie Turner did the same thing, and I talked about it on my channel. You guys can go to my YouTube channel. Look, you guys can go on my Pop Culture Talk playlist. It's literally the first video on my Pop Culture Talk playlist. This is basically when I first started my channel. And you can see it right here. Sophie Turner said the same thing 3 years ago. She says here that she hits back at critics for Game of Thrones, particularly those who signed a petition to have Season 8 rewritten. I'm sick and tired of these actors who think that, listen, I get it. There's a lot that goes on when it comes to making art, when it comes to the entertainment industry and that sort of thing. Like I've seen the behind the scenes. Like I was literally yesterday, I was watching like the behind the scenes stuff with like Stranger Things, and how much like work and the prosthetics, the VMX, the CGI, the writing, just like the hours upon hours upon hours of just needing to make this art and to put it out. Like it's really like I feel like nowadays we don't really hear much people talking about, hey, I want to be an actor, or hey, I want to go into theater. But that stuff is really like a lot of work. And it takes up like blood, sweat, and tears, like with the stunt, everything. So I'm not taking that away from Kit Harington, Sophie Turner, Emilia Clarke, wherever, Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, whatever, all these shows. But what pisses me off is like these actors don't think that critics or the people that literally built the show, which is the fucking audience, because if there was no audience, Game of Thrones would have been got canceled since after season one. So no, you had to create a fan base and an audience to reach those casual fans. The product was clearly good for a certain amount of time to make sure that you're also getting money in your pockets, because you're lucky that you had the audience that you had, Kit Harington, so that the fucking show didn't freaking end and it was your last paycheck. So then for you to come out here and be like, oh, I feel like that was disrespectful, it was idiocy, it only happens on social media. We have the right to like or not like something. Last time I checked, it's a show. Last time I checked, movie, like these things, we have the right to critique the entertainment or art that is put out there. And that is the Game of Thrones show included. I don't give a fuck what you say. Season 8 of Game of Thrones was ass. Point blank, period. I am not mad at fans creating a petition to have the show remade when season 8 was rushed through. Apparently, I heard something, it was a while back, I heard something that like HBO did want them to have another season. Apparently, they wanted them to have like a season 9. Like, they were literally telling them, like, you got, like, telling Dan and Dave, you don't have to end the show at season 8. We can continue with the show. So, Dan and Dave could have flushed this thing out properly, but they just flatly refused. They wanted to, go out with a bang in a bad way. So, mind you, Kit Harington wasn't saying all this stuff when when fans and audiences were praising the show. He wasn't saying nothing. He was happy that the fans were loving. So that's the thing about these actors. They want it both ways. Like, they want to have their cake and eat it too. It's like they want the positive but without the negative. They want the praises but without the critiques. And it's like, no, bitch, you are in the entertainment industry. You are in the movie industry. There are going to be people that like your movies, that like your TV shows one season and might feel like they don't like it the next season because the writing is ass, which season 8 was. And I feel like, and like I said, it's not just Kit Harington. It's Sophie Turner. It's these actors where they feel like we as an audience, or we don't have the right to critique a show, or especially a show that we genuinely enjoy and we really felt like, let's say like the past 6 seasons, the writing was top tier. So you're mad that we're putting you at a high standard that the writers and the directors and things like, y'all put yourself on that top. Y'all the ones that put yourself on that pedestal. So we're just looking at y'all and holding y'all guys to that same standard that you put yourself there. So, and on top of that, here's also my other problem too, that I'm getting annoyed. And it also goes to Ryan, what's his name? Ryan Cogo or whatever his name is, that's doing House of the Dragon, because he's also been getting dragged here and there, a little bit, not too much, but here and there. This Game of Thrones and all the House of the Dragon, all these different things, these were based on books, okay? The creator, George R.R. Martin, like, these are based on books. The show was created because of a book. Fans are going to have, yes, believe it or not, Kit Harington, fans are going to have expectations that the show, I'm not saying all the time it's going to happen. I get it. Sometimes with timing and everything like that, things don't get fleshed out as much because of like time and, certain things, on the set, whatever. But it's not that crazy for fans to want a show based on a book to be at least 80 to 85, maybe even 90% accurate when it's translated into TV or movies or things like that. I don't think that's so hard to really, I don't even think the audience is holding themselves. If anything, the more unreasonable thing would have been to say, oh yeah, no, the show needs to be like 100% like the books. No, I would say a good, cute, and I think that the fans accepted that for what it was, because if you're going back to season 1, there are some things that they changed in season 1 of Game of Thrones that wasn't in the book. And fans are still okay with it because the writing, it followed up with great writing. So it's like, I'm not mad at fans that grew up or read the books and wanted to be, and saw a great disappointment in the latter seasons, and they were like, you know what, let's start a petition because this shit is bullshit. I'm not mad at them for it. At the end of the day, audiences and people that watch these shows, fans, we're also putting money in your pockets, Kit Harington. We're also sitting down and making sure that y'all get the views, making sure y'all get the streaming views, making sure that we buy a ticket at the movie theaters, expensive ass tickets, going to the movie theater, buying things at the concession stands, buying our popcorn, making sure we sit down. I went to go watch that bullshit Eternals movie. You were in that bullshit ass movie. I wasted my goddamn money with that. So no, Kit Harington, you're the idiotic one, because if you feel like you're just gonna get the positives without the critiques, you're out of your goddamn mind. If you continue to stay within this industry and continue to do your art and make your movies, do your TV shows, even though you know, you're doing that weird ass, and that director, I'm forgetting her name. I had to you know, but I did drag her on TikTok. But like, she did strike one of my videos when I had the screenshot of apparently like Kit Harington and Sophie Turner doing a movie together, but they're lovers in the movie. But then again, I'm like, you know, we don't want to clock this tea about Kit Harington. Mind you, when Game of Thrones started, Kit Harington was a whole adult, and he's known Sophie Turner since she was definitely like, what, 14 years old, while on the Game of Thrones set. You knew this girl, you saw her grow up 14 years old, and now you're doing a movie with being her, like, that's not weird to you? So people are gonna go put money, not me personally, since you feel like people are being too judgmental or feel like, oh, it's idiocy and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, we just gonna stop supporting whatever you're putting out. And let's see how you really feel. And that's the thing. I want audiences now, from now on, like, I really, really wish we can do this as a collective. When like these like celebrities or things like that, they shit on the people that have been supporting them for all these years, been putting money in their pockets. Like, I really, really wish that like us as a collective, when they do shit like that, we just stop supporting them. Like, stop going to the movies to watch their shit. Stop watching their whatever show they're coming out with next with them in it. That's honestly how I feel. Because okay, you don't want the negatives. You don't want any sort of criticism, any sort of anything, no opinions. Okay, how about you get nothing from us? And I feel like honestly, that's how I feel like I'm gonna be moving throughout 2026. Especially any of these fuck ass celebrities, when I be out here talking shit, I'm just okay. I'm gonna be very mindful with my money. Be very careful with my money. And you gotta sometimes with these people, you gotta hit them where it hurts. And that is their pockets. And I keep saying that, and I'm gonna keep saying it. So yeah, I felt like this quote from Kit Harington was bullshit. The quote from Sophie Turner back 3 years ago was bullshit too. You guys can go watch that video on my my YouTube channel that I did about her. She was also talking nonsense. She was talking slick out of her mouth. I had to drag her real quick. So, but yeah, that is just my thoughts on that. You guys tell me how you guys feel about Kit Harington's annoying ass. And honestly, I hope they keep that Jon Snow, that Jon shit series, whatever, prequel, whatever, sequel, whatever the hell you want to call it. I hope they keep it scrapped and leave it on the floor. I hope it never comes back up from hell. Leave it alone. You were a boring character in Game of Thrones as it is. The only reason why I honestly find you very interesting is because, you know, I liked your chemistry with Daenerys, but other than that, I skipped over a good amount of your scenes before we got to season 7, because it had to be centered around Daenerys, okay? First of her name. So yeah, this Jon Snow stuff, whatever you want to call it, he's mind you, he's still talking about okay, can you talk about something else? What other projects do you got? But then again, I won't be supporting the projects since you don't want no criticisms, positive or negative. I'm gonna keep my money where my mouth is. Anyway, you guys tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Tell me, you guys, how do you guys feel about these celebrities just like, it's annoying. Like, I hate when they do things like this, because it's like, bro, the audiences are the reasons why you guys have your why y'all are success. Like, y'all need the people, and you can't have it both ways. You can't, have your cake and eat it too. When it comes to fame, when it comes to having a popular show, you gotta take the good with the bad. And that's the thing. I'm actually surprised that these celebrities still to this day they don't get that. They don't get that. Either way, y'all. You guys tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Ronnie Lipton. Please like and share the video if you care. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.